When I decided to become a scuba diver and I bought my GoPro, I went online and read a bunch of articles on how to get quality underwater footage, and all of those articles mentioned the red filter. So I got one, but once I started diving, I noticed that red filter is not essential for you to get quality underwater footage. In this video I will share with you 5 things that you need to get quality underwater footage and when to actually use a red filter. First of all, you need great water and weather conditions, which is completely out of your control. It needs to be a bright sunny day and you need visibility of at least 15-20 meters. Anything less and your footage is not gonna look that good. I think I already mentioned it in a previous video, but basically once you get down underwater, if you can't see shit, your camera can't see shit either. I've heard quite a few stories when people would buy a GoPro, go tech diving, go down to 60 meters, and once they come up, they look at their footage and it looks crap. I asked them what was the visibility and they would say 3 or 4 meters. You couldn't see anything yourself. What do you expect your camera is going to see? Number 2, whatever your camera is, you need to know what settings you should use in certain conditions and how to change them fast underwater, which sometimes is not that easy. Underwater photographers bring a white slate with them underwater to set the white balance. Every couple of meters in depth they need to take a picture of their white slate, because every few meters the conditions underwater will change and your white balance will change as well. That's why you need to know how to use your own gear, so you can change the settings fast and not think about it too much. Now the third thing to get quality underwater footage is you need to have your buoyancy on point. You need to learn how to stay still underwater and how to go back first. The better your buoyancy and trim is, the more stable you can hold your camera and the less fish you're gonna scare. The fourth thing you need to do with your footage is to color grade it. I know it's a time-consuming and difficult thing to learn, but once you learn a few tricks, it will make a big difference with your underwater footage. It will definitely make it look better, a lot better. Now that you mastered these 4 things, you can bring a red filter into play. Underwater, the light travels differently. The deeper you go, the more colors you lose. And the first color to go away is the red. And that is where the red filter comes into play. Now the first thing I want to mention, the red filter only works with an ambient light. So if you're diving with dive lights, you shouldn't use a red filter. Now the obvious pro of a red filter, it brings the red color back. But that's it. It has way more cons than positive things. The first negative thing about this is it blocks light, and light is already scarce underwater. So the deeper you go, the darker it will be. And with the red filter, it's going to be even more dark. The problem is, the filter only works at a certain depth and only on a bright sunny day with good visibility. And usually that depth is between 10 and 20 meters. Depending on the conditions. That is when I have my red filter on. If you are too shallow, your footage may end up with a red tint. Even if you use a red filter, I would advise to color grade your underwater footage. That is when you're gonna achieve the best results. I've done around 200 dives now, and there were actually 10-15 dives where I could have used the red filter. It helps to have one, but it's not essential. My advice would be concentrate on your buoyancy, on your camera settings, and what conditions, what settings to use. Also try to hold your camera as steady as possible and learn to color grade. And then I would worry about the red filter. This way you will manage to get the best quality out of your underwater footage.